Greetings. This video is in how to use the TI-84 or the TI-83 in graphing parametric equations. So for most of us, our calculator by default has been set up to graph functions. And so when we push the y equals button, we get function 1 and function 2 and function 3. And when we put in a value here, we graph that. But now we want to switch to a different mode and do parameterization or parametric equations. So I'm going to click mode and I scroll down to where I see function and then over to parametric. So I hit enter and now I'm in parametric mode and I can graph parametric equations. So let's use that example that we did earlier in a video. So I'm going to press the same button that I normally would to get to your graphing menu, y equals, but now we see something different. Now we see x1 sub t and y1 sub t. So my parametric line is the x position and the y position. So I put in the t squared minus 2t in the x position, and in the y position, I put in the t plus 1. I want to mention something here. You can get to that t in a couple of different places. The first way that you can get to it, which is most likely the preferred way, is right next to the alpha button is an x, a t, a theta, and an n. So that is the preferred way. So press T and then plus 1. That's the best way to do it. Also, by the way, you could use the second button and then alpha lock and then hit the T. So that would be 4 and get a T and then plus 1. But notice when I push the 1, I have to be careful that I don't accidentally get a Y. So the preferred way for me is just to use the X, T, theta, and N button. And when I'm in the mode of parametric equations, by default, I'll be using the T. So then what I do is hit graph. And I see that curve that we saw before in the example that we did on Desmos. Now, if I want to change the value that T is mapping out, I just go to the window and see how I have T minimum minus 2 and T maximum 4. So let's say I wanted to do T minimum 0 and to 4 and hit graph. And see now how the shape of the graph is the same, but the values that got plotted are less. Let's also do an example with a circle. So here I'm going to put 2 cosine of t in for the x position and 2 sine of t for the y position. So this should be a circle of radius 2 centered at the origin. And I hit graph. And you'll notice it doesn't go all the way around. And the reason it didn't go all the way around is because I would need to map this out from 0 to 2 pi. So in my window, I go from 0 and then 2 pi. And now when I graph it, I get a complete circle.